halen?
Die kant uit. Lopen man, lopen.
Ik versta dat niet, joh.
Lopen! Nee, ik kan het nou wel.
Ja?
Ik sta bij de blauwe kruis.
Ja man, ga maar lopen.
Lopen, kruipen.
Ja, kruip maar.
Hé jongen, even rustig. We hebben een mooi praatje straks en nu even rustig, hè?
Ja man, ja man.
Hé, dat is de kogel van Vestel.
Wat? Ja man.
Waarom?
Gewoon.
Ben je bang?
See what we have to deal with, guys. That guy was fucking annoying. Anyhow, like you guys saw in the title of the video, I knocked 3 guys out that night, and I was also arrested for it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a Dutch Mexican-American bouncer. I have bounced here in the Netherlands, in Mexico, and in America. I'm also a Dutch kickboxer, a taekwondo master, 4th-degree black belt, and I've competed in different martial arts, including MMA. So, that said, here in Holland, security is a bit different than in other places, okay? First of all, we're not allowed to carry weapons, okay? We're not allowed to carry weapons. We're not allowed to carry, we cannot carry, for example, we cannot carry handcuffs, okay? Handcuffs are very illegal here, all right? So we cannot carry these things. So you guys may have seen that that's my Mexican badge with ID to go with it. And that's the Dutch National Security badge. Getting back to what I was saying, we can only carry a flashlight like this one, little one. I do, however, like to carry this instead. This is a mag light, so you can still use it as a stick because we're not allowed to use a stick either. Okay, we're only allowed to carry those things, the lights and bulletproof vest, stab-proof vest. I'm wearing it right now just for this video. Those things we're allowed to carry. Okay, but other than that, we're not allowed to carry anything. Keep in mind, Dutch people are the tallest people in the world. I'm only 5'9", so 1.74 m. I'm not that tall. I'm average height, but here I'm on the shorter side. Okay, and all these guys can kickbox. We're the international country for kickboxing. We have the best kickboxers in the world. Every goddamn gym here has kickboxing. So most of these guys will punch you, will low kick you. Like they know what they're doing. Okay, so it's not easy to bounce here. Even though I bounced in Mexico, where it's way more dangerous than here. Here I've gotten into way more fights than in Mexico. In Mexico it works way different. So getting back to the topic, that day, the owner of a different company, we own a company, me and my girlfriend at the time. You guys saw her in the video too in the beginning.
Lopen.
We own a company and we got a call from another guy who owns a company, Ramonov, for us to work with him in this town called Snake. Well, in an area called Snake. The town's not called Snake. I forgot the town's name. But that area is called Snake, and I never knew much about it, Snake or any of these things. You know, I didn't even know what event it was nor how many people we were working with. So we get into the car with him, and it's only about 3 of us in the car, or 3 or 4 of us in the car. We met up with another 2 guys over there. So we're only working with like 6 guys, and the event was like thousands of people. I didn't even know where we were going, like I said. And we're in the car, we're rolling, and then Stas tells us, you know, hey guys, the key word today is patience. These guys are real farmers. They'll fight over anything. They'll even slap their own women. They're a different species. They're a different kind of Dutch farmers. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then he says, we're only working with 6 people, so the word today is patience. You cannot fight everyone. I'm sitting in the back. I thought, fuck, this is gonna be one of those nights. You know, really, like, I've lost count how many fights I've been in, but then that gave me a feeling already. So what I did then is I closed my eyes and I tried to meditate and relax as much as I could so I could get my mental rest and physical rest before getting there, because it was a kind of a long drive. So, you know, we get there and it was all, like, a lot of bullshit happened. Like, for example, this one girl was talking to me at some point, and some guy walked up and just grabbed her by the throat and started slapping her around. I was about to grab her, but then the guy in charge, the guy that owned the company, the guy that had that gig, told me, no, don't. That's how they get along here. That's not a reason to throw someone out. You're gonna have all these guys jump at you. I was like, oh shit. Okay, well, I'm not used to that, but all right, I let it go, you know. So, what happened when I knocked these guys out? How I'm gonna tell you guys this is in the following manner, okay? I'm gonna tell you guys from the moment I got arrested. And I'm going to tell you guys what they told the cops, and I'm going to tell you guys what I told the cops, okay? So, first of all right, let's say months passed after the event happened, after I knocked these guys out. Months passed, and then the cops show up at my door, which was strange because I was in a new apartment with my new girlfriend, and the only person that knew where I was my ex-boss, who I worked for the first gig that I ever worked in the Netherlands. I worked for her. She fired me because I beat up the wrong drug dealer that was friends with her. I'm going to do a video on that because she recently got arrested herself. So I have to do a video on that this week. I will do a video on that, you guys, on how my boss got arrested. She works she has a coffee shop where they sell weed. So she's the one that told the cops where I was, you know. It cannot be any other way. She's the only one that knew where I was. So we're chilling at night. It's months later, and we were chilling the night before that, and then all of a sudden at like 6 in the morning, knocking, you know, Leontine Los. So they're calling for my girlfriend's name because that she was staying there, right? Politie, you know, please, we need to talk to you. Can you please open the door? So, you know, I look outside. Yeah, I see the cop car, and then she opens the door, and then they look right at me immediately because it was just a room that she was renting. And we had roommates, so they came in somehow. And then they look at me, and then they're like, Arturo Jan Villanueva Bacher? And I'm like, yes. Like, come here, please. You're under arrest for assault. Mishandeling. Je bent aangehouden voor mishandeling, they said in Dutch. So, you know, I go with them. They cuff me, they take me. And then they take me to the station, and then I had to wait for detectives to pick me up. And it was a long ride. I had to go from Steenwijk. First I sat in the cell for a little while. Then when they picked me up, I had to go for a long drive with them all the way to this town where this happened, of course. There I was put in the cell for another while. Finally, I got to talk to the detectives. Right. So the story was that they said, this is their story, right? The guys I beat up said this. First of all, one of them said that, you know, which was the reason why they were hanging off a lamp, these guys. I don't even, like a big expensive lamp that was on the roof. I don't even know how they got there. They were hanging from it. So his story was that I was dragging him, taking him out, grabbing him by the arms. That's his story. And when I got outside, I punched him real hard behind the head and he fell. After that, they say, some guy walked up to ask me what the hell I was doing. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Or something like that, right? And that I then punched him out too. And that I punched him in the face and I caused that fucking scar. You know, I told the detectives, fuck, you know, I wish I could do that. But anyways, back to what they were saying. They say I punched both of them. So I punched the first one, boom, he drops. Another one comes up. He asks me, what are you doing? I punch him too. I go back in. I shut the door. And then I go back and stand at my post with my girlfriend, partner, working partner at that moment. Now, they claim, the other three guys that also reported me, they claim that the third guy I knocked out was walking up to me to ask me what was wrong with me. To speak to me about my behavior, and that I just wheel kicked him, spin kicked him in the head, boom, and that he fell and was knocked unconscious, and that we did not give him no medical attention, that none of us, that we just left him there, and that was basically their story, which makes no sense. So that's what they said. That's what the cops told me. They said this, and that, Now we need to take your story. So I give him my story. My story was this. They were hanging off of the lamp. We were taking them outside. And I was grabbing one by their right arm. Another security guard was grabbing him by this arm. So we were grabbing him by both arms. I didn't have one guy by myself, guys. These guys are huge. We were grabbing him with two guys. So it was me on this side, other security guard on that side. I'm grabbing his arm. We're dragging him out. When we get outside, he starts to move around, so I just push him. I didn't hit him, I just pushed him. That's what I told the cops. I pushed him and he falls, boom. And then when I look behind me, the door shuts, bang. The security guard went back in, and I didn't even know if the door was locked or not. I didn't have no communication with the other security guards. We got to the gig immediately. We were a little late. So the door shut, and I'm stuck outside with like 20, 25, maybe 30 dudes. I'm not even sure how many. Just a bunch of dudes outside that were not allowed in anymore, that we either kicked out or tried to get in. It was already almost closing time. So then a guy walks up to me and grabs me by the throat, like with one hand. Long, tall guy. I was like this tall next to him. Grabs me by the throat, starts to want to hit me. So I grab his hand with both hands, and I cannot punch him because he's too tall. If I punch him, I won't reach. He's way bigger than me. So I grabbed his arm, I pulled him towards me, and then I high kicked him in the face with my boot. This boot right here, same boot you guys see here. I kicked him and caused that scar from here to here and knocked him out. Okay? Now, after that, my story was I go back in. They open the door, I go back in. I go back to my post with my girlfriend, like they said. That was true. But then they got 3 guys. Friends of theirs, they got 3 guys. They were angry that I had knocked that guy out outside, which was just one guy, okay? Not the first guy that we threw out. It was the second guy that came up. And so they came in with an excuse that they left a jacket inside. I forgot a jacket. Some stupid bouncer, a colleague of mine, let them back in. Lack of communication in this gig, really. It was so bad. And then they walk back in, and they're walking very aggressive towards me, you know? The taller guy swings at me. So when he's swinging at me, I go back with it. I turn, and I do a back psychic, a spinning psychic to his chest. He falls, hits the back of his head on the concrete, and he's knocked unconscious. That was my story to the police. My story versus their story. Now, all I can tell you guys now is that neither one of those stories is true. They lied, and I had to say what I had to say. I cannot tell you guys in this video what really happened because of legal reasons. But I hope in the future I can make a video about it and say what really happened. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. So if you have any questions, please let me know on the comments below. In case you guys want to fact check this, anybody thinking is he bullshitting? You know what? The Dutch police are so corrupt, they're bribable. If you guys want to bribe Dutch cops, you know, my full name is Arturo Jan Villanueva Bakker. You know, so if you guys want to bribe some Dutch cops to get the report and the pictures, I'm sure you guys probably could do that. You know, Dutch cops, they're always looking out for number one. They're a different species. You know what I'm saying? They have a really strict policy here, the Dutch police. Officer safety first. They take that shit to another level. For example, if I call the police because I need backup, they won't show up until 30 minutes later to a bar. That day that I knocked those kids out, they didn't even show up at all, even though they called them. Okay, what does that tell you guys? They arrested me months later, and they came with a lot of guys to get me. They didn't come with like 1 or 2 cops. They came with a team. Okay, there's always officer safety first for them. That gun they carry and everything is to protect themselves, not anybody else. They always show up late, those guys, when I've called them. Every time I've called them in different gigs, they always show up late. And here in this country, ironically, we earn more than the police. We earn actually quite a bit more than the police. Like, I got my papers in 3 months, 3-4 months. I did the test, passed them with 8 or 9, which is equivalent of a BC. Then you have to get, then you get your diploma. Once you have your diploma, they do a background check on you. Once they do a background check, the chief of police of wherever you're working, he approves your badge, and you get an ID, kind of like this one, kind of like the Mexican one, but the Dutch one, and you can start working at the door. Okay, that's basically how it works here in Holland. Most bouncers are kickboxers because we have to learn the techniques ourselves. I mean, we have nothing else to work with, just our hands and our feet. And then they want to arrest us when we use them because they don't show up on time anyways. Fucking cops. So yeah, we at least earn more money than them. When they're in the police academy, they make around 800 a month for like years. 800 euros a month, and they put them up to like 1,200, something like that. I was making 2,500 a month as soon as I started working as a bouncer. So I was already making like more than double than most cops when they start, like in 4 months. You know, it's ridiculous. And then they wonder why people don't respect the police here. You know, I'm gonna link a video in the description below of a cop, 3-4 cops not being able to handle one guy. Okay, so yeah, that said, guys, that's it for this video. And like I said earlier, let me know in the description below any questions you might have, anything like that. Till the next video, guys.
En hier camera, hè?
Ja.
Hey, die filmt niet, hè?
Jawel. Die komt straks op YouTube, jongen. Die was straks
Ben
bedoeld.
je klaar?
Oh. Je moet wel hier staan.
Oh.
Wel hier staan, ja. Oké, jongens en meisjes, steek ze erbij. Ik ga net lopen alsjeblieft.
Moeten we weg?
Ja.
Nee,
Ik versta dat niet, joh. Lopen! Nee, ik had hem gewoon wel.
Ja?
Ik sta bij de blauwe kruis.
Ja man, ga maar lopen.
Lopen!